In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Viewmaster toy and Viewmaster slides of the 1960s to early 70s. Viewmaster originally came out in 1939 at the New York World's Fair. It was made to be an alternative and a little more of an interesting souvenir than your traditional postcard, so they had created these 3D reels. In the early years of Viewmasters, they did a lot of scenic places. And in the 1960s, they had changed ownership and they started really targeting towards kids. These slides I have here are from the early the 1960s to the early 1970s. They had ones that were based on TV shows, and they had cartoons, and they just were really a great thing for kids to have. They were just a lot of fun. Especially what I loved about them as a kid is you could see your favorite TV shows when there was no, VCR or no YouTube, no DVDs, so you could look at these things in 3D and kind of revisit them. So what I have today to talk in this collection, I've got Bugs Bunny and Woody Woodpecker Presents, and over here I have Bedknobs and Broomsticks. We have the Brady Bunch, and why we have the Grand Canyon Adventure, not one of the what I thought was one of the better episodes, but it made it to Viewmaster. We have Roadrunner. We have the UFO TV show with Jerry Anderson. That one was from '69, I believe. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Bambi. Star Trek. And here is the basic Viewmaster viewer and the slide that would come with it, that was free with the viewer. And the slide would give you a picture of a certain preview of a certain slide that they were selling, so that if you liked what you saw, you would go out and buy that particular set. This Viewmaster is the basic model, and this one was made by Sears out of Oregon in the USA. It's from the 60s, and it still works just fine. And over here, I remember as thinking that Viewmasters were a big deal as a kid, and so I dug out the 1967 Sears wish book, and I wanted to see just how much they were of a presence they had. So I found that they had 2 pages worth of Viewmasters, which was just kind of neat. So we have here the color page. Now there's the Viewmaster that I just showed you right up there. And that was only $2.78. This one's a little more of a deluxe because it had some lighted feature. And over here they've got some Viewmasters in color that were available. But what's wild is when you come over to this page, there is a list of 180 titles at $1.25 that you could buy. And the brilliant thing about Viewmaster is that it targeted both boys and girls, so that you could there was something for everyone, whether it was Peanuts, Dennis the Menace, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Batman, Mary Poppins. There was the fairy tales, Daniel Boone. It was just, there was something for everyone. And you got a lot of play value for $1.25 a reel and $2.78. Over here on this edge, if your parents wanted to spend more money, there was the projector lamp, there was the Viewmaster theater that focused on the favorite characters, but it was like going to a drive-in theater. These were a little more higher end, but for the basic, no, that's Dennis the Menace, but for the basic kid, there was a lot of just plain old nice, nice Viewmaster slides that they could enjoy, and it wasn't very expensive. And also it was kind of neat where they also had all the states, or at least a lot of the states. I don't know if they had all of them. No, they didn't have all of them, but they had a lot of the states. The other thing too that I wanted to share with you was that in each little envelope, the envelopes are a little frail. These, and I'll show you in a minute. These are mine. This collection has been well taken care of, but the envelopes are frail, and so it's common that they're not. It's common that they might have rips or tears or whatever. But here is the back. This one's all intact, and down below here it'll give you an ID number. And so when you look at it, you've got an inner booklet which would have gone with the storyline. So this is the Bugs Bunny set. So we've got the Bugs Bunny outside, then we've got the booklet. A lot of times these booklets are missing or they're trashed. And the next thing is you have an envelope for the reels. Sometimes they're written on, sometimes they aren't. It looks like an adult wrote on this one, which was no problem. And then you have the 3 reels. And when you look at the reels, they will be numbered so that you'll know that because it's also very common that you're not going to have the correct reels in the correct envelope if you find it. That's pretty standard fare. But if you look down here, you'll see the B5311 and B5312 and B5313, which goes back to the back of the envelope of the B531 packet number. Another thing, these are in very nice shape, but it's very common when you find these can have bubbling on them, or the slides are like no longer in place. They're like loose, and they're just not. They're not in good condition. Just eyeballing them, you don't even have to put them up to a window. And when I don't have the viewer, that's just what I do, is put it up to a window and look at the bright. You can put it up to the light also, but I just find it easier. If I'm taking a picture to list these, I just find it easier to put it up to the window, hold it with a pen, and that'll give me an idea on the condition of the actual slide and how it looks. Also, they can get scratched up. But like I said, this collection was really nicely cared for, and I'll be offering it in my eBay store. But I just wanted to share with you the Viewmaster slides and a little bit of a representation of the 60s, early 70s, which were just so much fun. Thank you.